Namaste, Krissy Marcus. This is our second Corona Care yoga video. In this practice today, we will be using some household items for props. I have here just a box. It can be any size. We'll use this like a yoga block. I have a couple of tennis balls and just a regular old belt that we're going to use as a yoga strap. If you have any kind of couch cushions, we can use them like bolsters for the restorative part of the practice. So any household items will do. You don't need to go buy special yoga props. Use what you have at hand. And this will be a more active practice. This can be done outdoors or indoors, enjoying the beautiful weather in this spring season. So we'll come up to the top of the mat and we'll start with some sun salutes. So just take a few deep breaths in through your nose. Exhale all the way out through your mouth. Letting go of any tension and clearing your lungs. And perhaps set an intention for your practice. And we'll start together. Big breath in, reach out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, come halfway up. Breathe out, step back, either plank pose or table. You can bring your knees to the mat if you need. Breathe out as you lower all the way down. Breathe in, cobra, opening your heart. Breathing out. We'll come back up in one piece. Plank or table, downward dog. And we'll hold all of these downward dogs for 3 breaths. When you're ready, step or hop up. Breathing out. Breathing in, we'll come halfway up. Breathe out, fold. And we'll come all the way up on an inhale. Exhale. Let's do that one more time, 1 breath per movement. That's our warm-up. We'll take 2 rounds of Sun Salute B. You can follow with me or slow it down as needed. Chair pose, big breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or jump back into plank to hover. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And we'll step your right foot all the way up. Spin the back foot down so you're stable. Reach out and up. Exhale, fold. Back through your vinyasa. Second side. Left leg's gonna step all the way up. Big lift as you inhale off your hips. Exhale, fold. 3 breaths. Back up through your chair. And we'll take 1 more Sun Salute B on your own pace. So 4 rounds of sun salutes. Nice way to warm up. Get your heart rate up, working on that cardiovascular health. So moving along, we'll take our standing balances. I'm going to get out a box in this case, tennis balls, and a strap. And we're going to start just by warming up our feet. So take your tennis ball, doesn't have to be a tennis ball, golf balls work. Roll the ball under the sole of the foot, pushing down gently into the ball if you have some give, if the ball's squishy. And just feel the soles of the feet opening up. It's a nice massage, getting into all those reflexology points on your feet. And do both sides. And then we'll release. So now our feet are open, ready to help us with our standing balances. So we'll start by standing on your left foot. We'll pick up the right foot and come into stork pose. And here you can stay with the hands on the hips, feeling the hips level, or take the arms out and up. Those of you with a more advanced practice or interested in building strength, extend that leg forward. Nice way to build the quad and protect your knee joint. So if you're ready to move into a hamstring stretch, we'll take your strap around the ball of the foot and maybe just start with your heel on the mat. Press your foot into that strap, coming up into our hand to foot pose. Releasing your shoulders. Actively pressing your foot into the strap will open to the side. You could just go a little bit, or if you're feeling adventurous, take your gaze over the opposite shoulder. And a good 10 breaths here is plenty. We'll come back to the center using those strong core muscles. Exhale, release. And shake out any tension in that standing foot. Second side, so starting in your stork just to establish the balance. Taking those different variations with your arms. And just noticing that smooth breath in all these standing balances. And if you're ready, extend the leg or add the strap. Feeling solid on that standing open mountain foot. That would be your right foot on this side. And taking the gaze away and coming back to the center. So as long as you're even, 10 or so breaths on each side. We'll release. Shaking out the feet, any tension, let it go. So let's start to open the hips a little bit. We'll take your block. I'm going to put the block in front of the mat, setting up for our half moon practice. So let's stand on your right foot. Left foot's going to step back. And just take your time, bending and straightening your front knee in Virabhadrasana 2, our Warrior 2. If that feels good on your hips, we'll move into our Parsva Konasana, extended side angle pose. And you can stay here. You could always use your block under that right hand, moving a little deeper into the side angle. We'll do a few more breaths here. And then inhale back into Warrior 2. Let's give our quadricep a break, extend that front knee, and then we'll rebend it. Reverse warrior, lifting up and back, opening the ribs. You could always look back at your heel. Let's take about 4 breaths here. Enjoying this beautiful fresh spring day. And then we'll inhale back into our Warrior 2 shape. So I'm going to set up for triangle into half moon. I'm going to use my block. Extend that front leg straight. Hinge your hips back. And we'll reach into Trikonasana. Opening your chest. Feeling solid on that right foot. I'll start to bend the knee. Come out over into your balance. And keeping the gaze down at that hand is a little easier to balance than looking up. We'll do one more breath. And then step on back into Warrior 2. So we'll take a vinyasa here, pausing before we take our second side. Windmill down, moving through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale. Few breaths here. Or you can always come into half dog or child's pose. We'll take our second side. So this time, right foot's gonna step back, taking the time to open those inner hips in your warrior two, or any variation of side angle pose. And I'm really stretching under the shoulder blade, reaching out of the tips of my fingers, and then pressing down through that back foot. So we'll breathe here, opening. And then we'll inhale, come back up into our warrior two. Feel free to hold any of these poses a lot longer than I am, trying to get a lot in our time frame here for this video link. So reverse warrior, lifting up and back. Really stretching out the side body here, open ribs. And then when you're ready, we'll come back into our warrior two, setting up for your half moon. So grabbing your prop if you're using one, you can use one in triangle here too. Lifting up. And when you're ready, taking our balance. So moving out into our half moon. I'm going to adjust this prop so it's able to support my weight, stacking the shoulders and hips. Warrior two, adding that flow. Windmill down. Moving through your chaturanga. And I'm going to take a break here in child's pose. Any variation. You could widen the knees, take extended child's pose, or half dog. And we'll come back up. So let's look at some arm balances that are safe to practice at home. Again, not your time to try a new challenging pose without the supervision of myself or another yoga instructor. We want to keep it safe, but continue to deepen your practice. So let's look at our side plank today, Vashisthasana. We'll start in downward dog. You're going to move over to your right foot and right hand. So to do this safely, stack that other foot in front so the hips are level. You take the arm up or even over. Once you feel stable here with your core strength, stack the top leg on top and lift up. If this is easy for you, you can lift the top leg up, catching the balance. We'll change through downward dog or take a rest in child's pose. Right into your second side. So walking the hips over to the side, supporting with that right foot on this side, or if you're ready, stack the legs. Again, reaching through the arm, maybe lifting that bottom leg up, and then we'll come back. And I'm really spreading out my hands here so I have a stable base. Let's take a pause. Knees to the mat, child's pose. If you love building strength in the upper body, if that was one of your goals, or working again on that core and back strength, Vashisthasana, side plank, is a great pose. Another one, just to get into the shoulders a little bit without hurting your wrists, is our forearm plank. So you would measure chest width, open the forearms, walk your feet back. And try in this pose to keep your hips lower than your shoulders. You can add variations by lifting a leg up, continuing to reach out of the top of the head and tailbone. Couple breaths on each side. And then releasing back into a nice, easy half dog. Opening the chest. And let's do one more, our favorite, dolphin. So reaching again, measuring so the elbows don't get wider than the shoulders. Pressing through those forearms is a great preparation for headstand. Lifting up. We're going to move the chest back. You can look forward or let the head release. Holding as long as you like. When you're complete, it's important to bring your head and heart on the same level. Rest in child's pose. And then a nice way to stretch the triceps, bring the elbows to the mat in child's pose. Press your elbows down and try to bring the hands between the shoulder blades. And release. So one more for the shoulders here. Thread the needle. I'm going to breathe my right arm up. Exhale, right arm under left. Then you can press through that bottom hand and look up. And we'll come back through the center. Little cat-cow or whatever feels good on your back. Second side. And we'll come back up after 3 or 4 breaths on each side. And let's take one more downward dog. If you love handstands, you could do some handstand hops here or any pose that feels good. I'm going to walk my feet up and take a seat. So for our seated practice, you have your bolster. I'll choose to sit up on that bolster. You have a block and you have a strap. So let's start just by taking easy diamond pose, head towards your feet. And then we'll inhale, lengthen, come up. So I'm going to take my strap here, extending the right leg forward. Take your strap around the ball of the foot. Lifting up, feeling that energy move out through the sole of the foot. Head to knee pose. Janya Shirshasana. Folding forward. If you don't need the strap, you grab your foot. And you could extend through one side of the back, reaching further forward. Adding any variation that would be fun for you. And again, it bears repeating that all forward bending poses are calming. So that's really good for your anxiety level, your nervous system. Plus, it's a wonderful stretch for your back body. So let's pick up the left knee. We'll take our twist. And then release. Back to the center. If you feel like charging up your root, shift and lift. Trying a little balance on one foot, and we'll change sides. So maybe starting with your strap, around the ball of the foot, lifting out of the lower back, forward fold. And then playing with some variations. Remembering that our seated forward bends are the hardest poses you can do if you have tight hamstrings. So sitting up on a lift really helps open the lower back and hamstrings. So let's take one more big forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Lifting up, trying to hinge at the hips as you come forward. And we'll inhale, lengthen. Back bending. Bring your hands directly behind you, fingertips pointing towards your hips. Lift the chest up. If you want to go more intensely here, we'll press through the feet and hands, lifting up. If that's an easy pose for you, try doing it with extended legs. 3 breaths. Going to swirl the wrists out. That's a deep flexion for the wrists. Let's move our props to the side. And we're going to work on our core strengthening. So let's start with your prop right on your shins in boat pose. See if I can see you over the prop. Lifting up. You can always support behind the thighs if you need that. And we're going to take a twist today. So we'll lengthen out of the lower back. Twist towards your right. Inhale, lift. Trying to keep that box or block lifted. Twist to the left. You can take as many cycles as you'd like. Working on core strengthening. And then we're going to release. Come back into our diamond. So with all the standing poses we did in balances, the back of the hips get tight. So we'll do one hip opener today. Again, you could sit up on your pillow if that helps. We'll take Gomukhasana, starting with your left leg underneath you, right knee on top. And I love this pose because it gets hips and shoulders in, all in one pose. We'll hold your strap in your this is your left hand, right knee's on top. Turn it out. Reach behind. My right hand is going to reach behind for the strap. I'm going to pull the 2 ends of the strap apart. Lifting up. Exhale, we'll forward fold. And if you feel a stretch here, just pause and wait, or take it all the way over. We'll lengthen. Using your in-breath to come up, we'll release. Roll the shoulders around, and we're going to take another twist. Towards the top leg first. And then we'll release and move into a side bend. So trying to keep both hips down, reach over to your left. Opening under the shoulder blade and rib cage. Just let your head be like a weight. And we'll lengthen to come up. Changing sides, maybe adding another boat. Balancing on the sits bones. Second side. So resettling the hips, grabbing that strap. Holding the strap in your right hand as you reach your hand behind you. Left arm turns in. And I'm pulling the 2 ends apart, getting a nice deep shoulder opener. Exhale, fold. And we'll take the time to come up and release. Okay, so we're going to make our way down There's lots of different hip openers that you can do here, or more core strengthening. Good time to add some different boat variations. Stretching in your straddle. You could add a twist or a side body lengthener. These are just some ideas to add to your practice before we lay back on our backs. Good, so I'm going to shake out the legs. I'll move my bolster to the side because we're going to use that in a moment. If you have a sturdy block, you could use your block under your hips for bridge pose. So I'm going to go ahead and turn sideways here. And we'll lay back. Setting up for our inversions. I'm feeling the neck nice and easy. You can take a moment here on your back to soften. Maybe hug the knees in, rocking, or making circles with the knees. And we're going to move into our inversion series. So starting by having those legs hip distant, feet, knees, hips in 2 straight lines. And we'll take some rolling bridges. And you can stay up or add that support of a block underneath the hips. If it would be exciting, you could try a one-legged bridge. Or lift the heels up so you can come way up and take the block out. And then really use your core muscles to curl down. Taking a pause here or in your diamond. So other variations of being upside down would be plow pose, supporting behind the lower back. If your neck is healthy, you can try on your shoulder stand. Maybe adding different variations of the legs. This is only for my friends who have no issues with the neck. And then curling down. Resting with your throat open. And then from here, we'll add in our twists. So an easy twist, just hugging the knees in, letting the legs go to one side for a few breaths or keeping it moving. If you have a tight lower back, add your prop in between the knees. And then we'll come back through the center for our hamstring stretch. So taking one leg up, one leg down. You could always extend that bottom leg for more of a scissor. Head to knee works your core. Always use your strap here. Adding any variation. Move into a big twist. And then warrior 3 shape, arms overhead, press your core down, lower the leg. And we'll change sides. So for tighter hamstring folks, this is your friend. The legs up in the air, head to knee. And then maybe opening the hip. moving into your twist. And finishing with our warrior 3. And just taking your time. Take any pose that would feel good. Happy baby. Diamond in the air. Maybe some rocks for your core. You go around in a circle. And we're going to lay back. So this is where your bolster comes in handy. I'm going to place this under my spine the long way, so the bolster's right into the small of the back. You could also put it under your knees for more support and more of a forward bend. So however you're comfortable, let's lay back. I'll take us through a guided relaxation into a nice, long, well-deserved Shavasana. And I will say my namaste at the end of the guided relaxation. You will stay in Shavasana and enjoy. So I'm going to lay back. I'm choosing Queen's Pose. You can also extend the legs. And take your time getting as comfortable as you can. Closing your eyes and moving your focus inward. And imagine that you are in your favorite place in nature. Feeling the warm sun on your scalp and forehead. Relaxing all the muscles in your face, neck, and shoulders. Each breath out, releasing and surrendering more weight back into the earth. And letting go completely of controlling your breath and controlling your thoughts. Just let them float by like clouds. And soften all the muscles in your chest and abdomen, relaxing your back and hips. Feel your legs like 2 rivers flowing out through the soles of the feet. And as thoughts come in again, without attaching, just watch them float by. Feeling that natural inhalation filling, breath out emptying. Simply enjoying being. Namaste.